Hello and welcome to traditional draft of Zendikar Rising. And we have a first pick of Emiria's Call, which is a good card. And well, there is actually nothing else in the pack that I really care about. I don't need to pick it just because it's a mythic rare, because I have all the cards from this set. But I mean, it's a land, or if it, I mean, 7 mana isn't even that much. Sometimes you get 7 mana unlimited, and of course, when you cast this as a spell, it's gonna be a very strong card. So it's pretty easy pick here. I mean, the next best card would be like a Rapid Bite or the Infiltrator here, but it's easy pick to have this Emeria's Call here. And I guess we should perhaps continue with the Emeria theme, or there is also Nahiri's Binding. I mean, the pick is going to be either the captain or the binding in here. This is very good. This is good removal, of course. It's just that I think this might be better now that it's a second pick in the draft, so I can try to really go deep with the party stuff going here, so that this would be easily. I can try to guarantee this to be a 3/3 and even some cases have this as a 4/4. And this, while it's a good card, it's double caster and okay, I think I like the angel here more, so I'll take it now. There is then another captain here, interesting, and other good white cards too. I mean, well, this is a playable, not specifically a good one, but this one is good. But I think I'm gonna go for this route now. I pick another captain here and hope to get some party things going on there. So white will have clerics, a lot of clerics, and then will, depending on my secondary color, then let's see how many. I wouldn't want to play red here because red has a lot of warriors. Well, I don't want to pick a 4-drop in here. I have 2 already, and this is not a party creature type, and I really want to focus on party non-warrior party creatures with these 2 angels here. So I'm going to consider, like, I mean, I guess I could consider. Well, I mean, if I took this, I would have easier time to pick green cards here, but I don't think it's worth picking here. If I want to have a green card, I might just want to have the knowledge colony, but it's not a party creature type. This, however, is. Blue has like rogues and wizards. They would go quite well with the white, which has mostly warriors and clerics, so it might be reasonable to try to. I mean, I could take the Kite Sail Cleric, but I'm not that big of a fan of that card, so I wanted to see if blue would be open. A blue-white party deck might be something I want to have, but there's nothing too strong here. I mean, there is the Song Mad Treachery. This would be a rogue if I am still going green. I don't want to pick a red card, even though this is quite nice, because I'd rather have non-warriors as much as possible. So I could take the field research if I still want to try this blue route. Okay, I think I'll try it. I mean, there's a protector as well, but it's just a 3/2. I think I can find things like that later on. Okay, so we get these red lands here, land spells, which are quite nice, but I think I just try to go with the party synergies here. Now, these stalkers also benefit from having a good party representation here, so maybe. I mean, the blue wasn't very open there, so maybe it was a bit forced picks there, but I guess it's fine. And I'll just take the 2-drop. This is not a great card, but I mean, I guess I could take like the Skulker here in case black is going to be more open than blue. I mean, I guess I could consider it, but no, I think I'll take the white card. I try to have here blue and white. Alright, so some very playable green cards, and this is of course a very nice card, but I think I might have the Sylvan Division here still because, well, it's early. I might be picking some instant and sorceries here still. But how about the chilling trap? This won't be very good because I'm not gonna have a lot of wizards, but I think it's still better than the alternatives. I'm not gonna play either of them. I'm just not gonna pick yet another 4-drop warrior. I'm gonna take this. If I'm gonna have some party synergies, this can be cheap. So I try to go the party plan here. Let's take the spare supplies. I often play it. I think it's quite nice. I think I take the counter spell for my sideboard. Not gonna main deck it. Negate, same story. And then last pick this kind of pretty playable card. Alright, Leyline Tyrant. So maybe I should have gone red. No, I shouldn't have gone red just because I opened this one. Would be a nice pickup though, but I think I'm gonna. I mean, now that I have the third Emeria captain here, I'm just gonna pick this and just really try to get like wizards and rogues, and I guess clerics, of course, for kind of my earlier cards, my cheaper cards. So yeah, I'm gonna go all in here with this plan. Hopefully blue will be at least somewhat open here. Well, I do get a wizard. Not very good in a blue-white deck because I'm not going to really have that many of spells I can copy with it, but I'm still taking it, and maybe I can pick up something that synergizes with it. I guess I have the no, I didn't pick the deliberate. Well, no, then I can't have the deliberate yet here at least. Skyclave Cleric. It's easy pick Cleric and also the land here. I don't really want to have any 4-drops, even though this is a wizard and I would be interested in it. But yeah, I take the Cleric here. I think it's a pretty easy pick there. Relic Amulet, not gonna work in this deck very well. Shepherd of Heroes will be nice pickup here, so let's take that. I don't think I have enough synergies for this, and I kind of have a lot of 4-drops here. I'd rather take this 5-drop. And Umara Wizard Nahiri's Binding. I guess I would play even this as Chill Depth in this deck, but I can get these things later on. Now this is a pretty kind of tough decision because this is a very good card, just because it's also a land. But I think because I don't have any removal, I need to pick the Nahiri's Binding now. It's very sad to pass this, but I think I have to do that. So well, it's gonna be the practice tactics. How many late deadly alliances are there gonna be? Well, I can't pick it now. If I'm gonna have a party here, then I'm gonna have. This will be a somewhat useful card. Okay, Relic Amulet, pick 7 here. Are you joking? Alright, well, I take the Arc Priest. This is gonna be a fine pickup for this deck. And another Colossus. Negate, I already have a Negate. Do I want to play like a pressure point just because I have the Storm Color? I don't think I will have room for it, but I don't think I'm gonna play double Colossus, so let's take the pressure point. Just in case. Alright, well, this is a wizard. Not a blue one, but a white one is good too. Okay, how about the curve? Yeah, I can take a 3-drop. That's not a bad pickup. How about the party here? 3 clerics, 2 rogues, 5 warriors, 2 wizards. That's a decent amount. I'll take the... Well, okay, I guess I have a field research and the spare supplies. I don't think I'm gonna... Well, I mean, I might play double field research. Let's cut the spare supplies. Yeah, it might be reasonable. I can also copy one with the... Well, I mean, slightly cheaper when I play this. Yeah, at 5 mana I can have a 2-1 and draw, what, 4 cards. So that's nice. Alright, I don't think I need a 2-drop here, but I don't... Well, this Capita Outrider, maybe I'll pick it. I mean, I don't have more than 4 drops. What is this? I mean, it's not gonna be good in my deck, so... But I don't think I'm gonna play the Deliberate. I have still 1 pack left. I won't have room for the Deliberate. This can be played in here. Alright, this... I'm not gonna splash for anything, so I don't need it. And, well... it's gonna be the Farsight Adept here. Pretty easy pick up here. So let's see my... Okay, Roost of Drakes. Well, this deck doesn't have kicker cards, right? I have like... Well, this 1, 2, 3... Yeah, it's not really. This is just a 4 mana 2/2 flyer so often in this deck that I don't think I'm gonna pick it. I have a wizard here, 3 wizards. I might actually take this just because it's a rogue. I might get something like a Farsight Adept still here. I want to max out on the different creature types, and it doesn't seem like I'm getting a lot of rogues, so I'll take it, although I'm not generally a big fan of this card. Alright, here we have, well, we have nice options here. I mean, I guess this needs mostly rogue, so this is not gonna be the pick. The Geyser Mage would be a good one. 3 wizards, 3 rogues. But the Allied Assault actually is quite nice in this kind of party deck. This can actually make combat pretty decent. I actually am gonna pick this. And I hope maybe to get back one of these. Yeah. The Disruption is there. Or do I just want to have the Cleric? How many Clerics? It's 4 Clerics. So, I mean, 2-drop creatures. I have a few of them. I don't know. Maybe I'll just take the land here. I mean, you can't really go wrong here. And there was yet another Deadly Alliance here. Yeah, that doesn't work for this deck. Okay, the Skyclave Plunderer I think is gonna be better than the Field Research here. I mean, this has the upside of combining with the Stormcaller in here, but well, I mean, I guess it's true. I might just want to play 2 Field Research. In that case, I'll take the 20 gems here. Okay, we get the other option for that. Warriors, I think I had. Yeah, I don't want to have warriors because of these angels. They don't care about warriors. So maybe just. But that's not. There's no good pick for me. I don't want to pick these 4 drops. I have enough of them. Okay, let's take the plunder for now. But let's see if it makes the cut or not. Sadly, I don't get the creature types I want to have. But I guess the practice tactics is still a reasonable pick here. Alright, now we do. Finally. So I'm gonna take the cleric for sure. Yeah, I don't need a third one of these, so... Well, I'm not gonna play 2 chilling traps. I'm not necessarily going to even play 1. This is a better sideboard card. I don't think I'm gonna main deck 2 of those. Well, how about this then? I think these are pretty unlikely cards to even get sideboarded in, so I'll just take the 20 gems now that they're available. Oh, this I like. Definitely I like. This was the pack where I wanted one of those to actually come back to me. What's this here then? Well, I got this thing back too. Quite a nice amount of gems from all the rares I picked here. Alright, so this is gonna be a blue-white party, and these are the cards. Yeah, let's just see. A Relic Amulet, Instant Sorcery. I'm gonna cut one of those. I mean, this is actually 14 for now, but I have to maybe check when I have made my cards that how many of those. I don't believe I will have enough. But quite a few of these are also those lands that I will just play as lands. So yeah, it's unlikely that the Relic Amulet finds a slot in this deck. It can be sideboarded in case I play against a lot of 1 toughness creatures, because I will be getting random triggers for this, certainly. So yeah, opponent having a lot of 1 toughness creatures means I can side it in. None of these will start in the main deck. I still have 1 Chill Depth in here. It might get cut. Anyway, so this is my deck currently. A lot of cuts will be made. Anyway, let's see the land count first. So let's put all these things on the side. So that's like 4 lands. That can be spells. So based on this, and because I have some card draw in here, I can play quite a few lands. I think it's gonna be 15 basic lands here. It could be even 16 actually. 15 or 16, and I will have to decide it later. So Chilling Trap is unlikely to find. I mean, it is good, of course, with this thing. well, not necessarily even that good, because basically you just draw a couple of cards and maybe you get some attack in when you get to decrease opponent's creatures power, but it feels like well, I mean, you don't have to actually, you can play this pre-combat and then in combat you can use this, so you don't have to cast this right away. In the similar way, this works with the practice tactics. Also, although a competent opponent will know to expect this, I guess. So, okay, the Cascades here. How many wizards? 4 wizards. So I kind of wouldn't want to cut wizards, but if I am, actually, I'm gonna maybe cut the Outrider here because I need warriors the least in here. So at least I cut that as a 4-drop. And then I will cut some of these card draw spells, and maybe it's going to be the Plunder after all, because this Storm Color will be better with the field resets. I would rather have a turn 5 of Storm Color and field resets. That will give me 4 cards and a 2/1 creature, so I don't have to tap out for this thing. That's a good idea. And still I need to make some cuts. I think it has to be the Chilling Trap. And it could be, how many clerics it is? 5 clerics. So, Chill Depths or the Sellsword. I guess this thing has lifelink if I have other clerics. This doesn't care about having a cleric because it's a cleric. So yeah, maybe I'll cut the Chill Depths here. I don't have that much early game, but I guess it's still like 5 cards that I can play on turn 1 or turn 2. I definitely am not gonna cut any more of my early stuff here. And I'm gonna make one more cut here. 17 creatures. The Seer. 4 wizards, 5 warriors, 4 rogues, 4 clerics. That's as good as it gets in terms of all these different creature types. So I do want to play the Allied Assault. I do want to play the rogues here because I don't want to go down to 3 here. How about the wizards? Only 4, so I'm not gonna cut the wizards either. I mean, I guess I could just cut the extra field resets. Or the Cascade Seer, I think. I mean, it's just a 4 mana 3/3, although it will scry quite often, even scry 2 and sometimes even more, so it's almost like a card draw at that point. If I played just 14 lands, it would be 18, but I think this deck I have here, for example, well, okay, let's see. Sylvan Division. How many other instant sorceries I have? Well, I do have a bunch, so I'm just thinking about how often am I gonna just play these things as lands. For example, the Disruption is most often going to be a land. And then this thing, I would probably rather play it than not, because it's one of my 4 clerics. So yeah, I think 15, yeah, I think 15 basic lands is the amount I wanna include in here. So I'm kind of thinking about just cutting this field resets. I guess it could be the wizard, 4-drop wizard, because it's not so good with these Emeria captains, because usually I want to play this thing on turn 4. Field resets or the Cascade Seer. I would have only 3 wizards then. I wish I had some Pack Beast. A Pack Beast would have been so good in this deck. But yeah, they don't really. People do pick them early and for a good reason. They are very good in this format. So, I mean, other choice could be to just cut one of these practice tactics. Okay, fine. I'll do that. I'll cut one practice tactics and I will sideboard it in if it seems like it will be very useful against an opponent. So now I'll have a decent amount of different party creature types, and I'll just add 15 lands here. How about the mana? I have more white cards and double caster white card. I guess this is a deep triple caster, so if I ever get to 7 mana, I need the 3 planes. So that means I have here 2 and 2, so basically I have 15, so I can either have, I have two options. So let's see, I at least will have like at least 8 planes and at least 6 islands. So this would be 8 blue sources. Yeah, the amount of blue cards is quite low here, but I do want to have access to double blue here. I could still play just 9 planes here, I think, because these will most often, I think, just be a lands. And I want to play the cleric as a creature as often as possible. So it's kind of a tough decision between 8-7 and 9-6. This needs, I mean, I guess if I want to, yeah, I guess I have 3 of these, and I might, well, if I have a very big party, I might have multiple activations for this. So I guess I want to have access to multiple islands in some cases. So let's play 8-7 plus all these MDFCs here. That's 19 total lands and 25 total spells. Right. And this is best of 3, so I can of course fine-tune my deck based on the opponent's decks. So this is it for now. By the way, how expensive cards I can copy with the Mythic Rare Wizard? It just occurred to me that it's not necessarily going to be able to copy all kinds of spells, but I think it can still copy the field research. I'm actually not sure about it. I should have read the card. I was just considering that it's gonna copy all the spells. I was just I thought that can I, even at 9 mana, can I copy my angel creating the mythic rare land? I mean, it's possible, but I think it has a limit to the mana cost, converted mana cost of what it can copy. I hope it can copy the field research, because that was the reason I chose to play 2 field research over there. Skyclave Plunder. Alright, this is fine. I mean, not ideal. I guess this is gonna be a... Yeah, this is gonna be a 3-3 now if I don't draw any other creature type. And of course, a 3-3 Flying Vigilance is going to be okay. Yeah, it's worth 4 mana, definitely. I guess I have extra draw in here. That's also a wizard, so this won't help the captain if I still have this thing in play. Okay, no 2-drop unless it's a counter spell or something. Let's draw cards. So next turn, unless I draw something, well, I'm quite likely to play this as a 3-3. Then I can kick this on turn 6, because I only need one any kind of a land for it. So a 3-drop. Well, they have a 3-drop that cannot really block this very efficiently, so... yeah, because this is a wizard, it's not gonna add to the party, because yeah, this is a wizard already, so I'm gonna play this and it will be a 3-3. And then next turn I can play the Cascade Seer, scry for 2, unless this gets killed, and then I can have the field research, although if I scry anything relevant on the top, I probably will not play this quite on turn 6 yet. Yeah, they can activate it for 4 mana, so I wouldn't have blocked. I don't want to, I mean, even if it would have taken all their turn, I want to keep my flyer in here. Okay, you better have something. I mean, they played the rogue color, so they can have something with flash too. But they are doing nothing here so far. Multiple choices then. What is the correct play? For me, it's gonna be pretty straightforward, I think. Well, that was certainly, I mean, you definitely want to use this card on when the opponent is tapped out. That shouldn't have been. I mean, I wonder why now they actually missed 2 damage there, so maybe they should have considered that pre-combat. This is gonna attack, and I'm gonna scry for 1, but the 3/3 is still fine against the Stalker. The Stalker doesn't really block it very well. Oh, that's annoying. But I guess I still get to kill the duelist, so... Well, they did mill 2 reasonable spells here, but at least I have the draw 3 in here. So 1/3 will kill the 1/1 there. And then I will play the Seer in here, the land will be scryed to bottom, and let's see if it's... Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. I lost the other angel, but I still have 1 left. And of course I have other win cons than just the angels. For example, this unblockable guy, not this one, but the one that I'm about to draw. So next turn I'm most likely going to just kick the card draw spell. I mean, I could play just this and this unkicked, but I think because they are not really pressuring me, well, I mean, let's see what they play. They might be pressuring me if they play something very, something with high power I can deal with. But yeah, I don't want to play the field research and the Stalker because I can have a turn at some point where I play the Stalker and the Nahiri's Binding anyway. So I will kick this. Most likely next turn, but our opponent is still considering what to do. Maybe they have a mill effect in here and they want to mill this guy, but they did not. That died, and it's fine. I will just draw the 3 cards here right away. So we're gonna get the Stalkers, and then the Colossus will be 6 cost. I might be able to get it for cheaper. I mean, I could just cast the Colossus, but I think against 4 cards I'd rather have 2 different threats. Because they could just deal with this with 1 card. Okay, well, how about this? That's going to be good, but I'm not sure. These are warriors too, actually. They affect this. I'm not sure if it's... But I guess I do have 2 of these, and this is always going to cost 7 mana. It's the most mana efficient play this turn that I can make. Because I can make this thing cheaper, so... If they deal with 1, there's still another they need to... Yeah, okay. They did have a couple of removal spells. Do they have more of those? I mean, even if they do, they have to use 2 removal spells on this, so this is of course a very good card. Next turn. This could be a 5 cost card, and it does mean that I can... Yeah, I can play the Stalker and the Colossus. So, let's see. Yeah, I can't attack with both the angels because I can't leave the life linker to swing for 3 points. Of course I have the Nahiri's Binding for it at some point, but I'd rather just play the Stalker and Colossus. These Stalkers are actually gonna be quite nice because these activations will be cheap, and I have a lot of mana, also a lot of blue sources, so these are quite nice. The opponent is quite slow in making their plays, so maybe they just have a lot of options here, or they are multitasking, watching some TV or a stream at the same time. Yeah, I mean, that was really unlikely to get anything done here. So yeah, I'm gonna attack with 1 angel here. I can do it pre-combat because they're not gonna get rid of my both angels here. Even if they have some kind of a trick. They could have a subtle strike, for example. That's a possibility, but... Well, actually I have the Juari Disruption for it, so... Even better. Attack with this guy. Now I wish they have a Shuttle Strike. Alright, so what I can do here now is play this Stalker and then their Colossus will be 5 cost card. Now there is of course the Skulker, so the Colossus isn't very good, but at least they can't start to attack with this, I mean, even if I care about it. And this thing will be, the activation will cost currently only 2 mana. No, actually it's 3, these are warriors. It's 3 mana, but regardless. I mean, I could consider binding the Skulker there, but I don't think it makes sense. I'm just gonna binding the Gloom Hunter and start attacking with 8 in the air, and then however much damage this can deal. Although I think I'd rather play the Stalker before I start pumping this up, because it will cost 3 mana. I have 8 mana available. If I play this, I will have 5 mana available. Yeah, so that means, yeah, I play this and I will have 2 mana, so I can't activate this in that case. Of course, depends on my draw. That's fine. They get to drain 3 now, and that means Nahiri's Binding is certainly going to be cast on the Gloom Hunter. I don't have to have this Colossus as an attacker in here. I can simply just... okay, I assume this will get menace, but no big get there. Well, the disruption would have actually gotten them. Funny. Well, I did draw a land. Does that mean that... well, I mean, I'm gonna do this regardless. That's like an obvious thing to do. And this is gonna be an obvious thing to do. And then it would be... well, I mean, this is very unlikely to get them. So I'm actually just going to do like this here. Attack for... yeah, this has death touch now. Well, it has had all the time. So attack for 7 here. Next turn I can activate both of these. So I'm gonna have a lot of unblockable damage here coming up. They are not close to getting me to 0 life, so they kind of have to answer multiple threats in here. This flyer will be an issue, and both of the Stalkers will be an issue as well. If they can get rid of the Nairis, but they can't really with those colors. At least not very easily. Except that the Feed the Swarm is, of course, it can destroy an enchantment. That's possible. Well, that is a darn good one. So they get to draw, they get to have a 4/4 illusion. Okay, so the Chwari disruption again would have, in fact. Oh man. So 2 turns. Yeah, imagine if I countered that. But no matter, I think I still have the game here. They can't attack with this thing because they don't have mana here available, so I'll just activate both of these guys and yeah, I'm not gonna leave the disruption up, or am I? I mean, I guess the 1 extra damage doesn't really matter that much in here. Okay, I'm not gonna lose to those guys for the 3rd time. This has menace, this can be unblockable, that's still only, like, they can pump it a couple of times, but even if they deal like 8 damage, I can block this. I mean, if they get rid of this Colossus now, that's something I need to consider. Oh. Okay, that's actually bad. Right, yeah, that's true. They can pump this once and it only costs them, well, 4 mana, but they still have 4 left. If they can kill this, yet another Deadly Alliance or something like that, Bounce, Bubble Snare, they actually have a lethal, thanks to this being such a sick card. Okay, well, I did already activate both of them. It actually would have been a better idea to activate only one of them like a couple of times, but I guess it's too late, and I will definitely keep... if they use 4 mana to activate these, it's somehow possible that if they tap out on a removal spell, I can still get them, but I suppose they have a land to play. Yeah, I can lose this because this is 12 damage and they can pump it once, it's 13. Well, they do have some nice cards, and they were able to. No, actually, how stupid am I? Well, no. I mean, I was just considering it should have just simply attacked with this. This would have blocked, of course. And then they would have 10, 13. That I cannot help. I guess there's a chance that the Juari Disruption does something, but they need to only kill this. Oh, crap. Okay. Well, I mean, what can I do here? Nothing, really. Alright. That was... I mean, I could have left like a... I mean, yeah, I wasn't gonna play around double Vanquish the Weak there. I mean, I could have left like double activation up, but no, that makes no sense. So now at least... Yeah, the problem here is the next instant or sorcery spell with converted mana cost of 2 or less. Nice. Yeah, this doesn't copy really anything in my deck. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I can adjust my deck. This doesn't copy the field resets. But yeah, here I am in trouble. Double Vanquish the Weak there. After this inscription of this and this. Yeah, they killed basically everything that was a threat to them. They got rid of my double angel there. Oh, this is just a... Wow. I can't win this now. Oh, this 2-1 is not going to do anything. Alright, so... I can't copy like anything here. I can't copy... Yeah, nothing. So this card is just a 2-mana 2-1 wizard in here. Well... I guess I'm gonna cut the field research and put the Skyclave Plunder at least here. The practice tactics against so many removal spell, it doesn't make sense. But I definitely have the negate now in because there's a lot of targets for negate. And how many wizards was it? It was 4. I guess I have to just cut the Stormcaller. It's not very good in this deck. Okay. I mean, these are bad too because they have so much removal. Yeah, that was a rough game. That was a very rough game. I'm gonna still play this. Yeah, the double Vanquish the Weak there was so nasty there. I mean, they played card draw and removal. Only... Yeah, I can't play this. This is not really... I mean, even if I can play my Sellsword, I can't play anything after that. So this is a mulligan. And it's a mulligan to 5. Yeah, this is not really a hand you can keep. I mean, okay, actually I missed this. Well, now it is. How did I miss this? I have 2 lands here. Okay. I think the practice tactics is just... I'd rather keep drawing some cards here and don't need this. So I need to draw a land in 2 draw steps. I guess I have 19 lands total in the deck. Okay, that is a land. Yeah, the inscription turn was just nasty. This is a warrior, so I can trade with this thing. Yeah, because they got the 4/4 token in there. Although I guess that 4/4 token wasn't even relevant in there because they won simply because they were able to kill everyone that I have in my deck. Every win condition I had, they were able to kill each of them. So the fact that they got the 4/4 didn't matter. But they did get the card draw and they were able to bounce my angel. So drawing, scrying for, I think it scries for 2 and then draws 2. And then they bounced my angel token. So that was the nasty business about the inscription there. And then the double Vanquish the Weak dealt with my unblockable guys. Alright. They are not gonna fool around here. Well, I mean, I guess I can play this more mana efficient. This Emeria Captain is obviously not gonna survive here, but I still have an out to make this a 4-4 if I kinda just play this. At least they're lacking their blue mana, but I guess they have a ton of removal. Vanquish the Weak will be the next one. Or this. Well, that works for them. I'll just play the 3-drop guy here. I mean the 3-power guy. And the cleric will be played as a creature here. Not in a hurry here to drop any kind of a land here. I need the blue for this field research anyway. It's too bad I don't have any Tazim Raptors here. It would be very nice to pick up these lands. Okay, yeah, I'm playing against mono removal. At least I have to draw 3 in here. That can help, because now when they trade 1 for 1, it's gonna be about who is gonna have the most spells in this drawn. So the player who's gonna flood more will be losing here. So at least the captain will be out of the Vanquish the Weak range if these both survive, which I actually find unlikely here. Yeah, 1-1-1, there are still gonna be a ton of... At least they milled 2 lands, that was good. I'm gonna draw the 6th one for this at some point anyway. So Emeria Captain would be a 4-4 here, but they do have a Deadly Alliance, at least 2 Deadly Alliances here. So what I'm gonna do here is actually just attack first, and then I probably play this. I'm not in a hurry in here, but I try to just use my mana efficiently. Okay, that's not so bad. I can't double spell. This would make this one cost 4, but I have access to 7 mana only here. They haven't drawn the island even though I gave them 2 cards with the Adept here, so they have been somewhat unlucky here. Okay, so now that I cannot... Let's see, Deadly Alliance. Do I want to have rather... I guess the 7-5... I mean, they could have the Death Toucher, of course. So I'm gonna offer these for removal first. Although this... let me see. Yeah, this means the Stalker activation will cost only 2. So I can advocate for an additional damage here. So they're gonna Deadly Alliance now. I guess the Colossus. And then next turn I can play the Captain. It will still be a 4-4. Yeah, I think I know what I'm gonna do in the final game if I happen to win this. They have so much removal that these games are gonna drag a lot. I don't need this many lands. I can cut a land and probably have more card draw, at least the spare supplies, or maybe even the field research I cut here, because definitely this kind of matchup is just about who is gonna get, yeah, like you see now, who's gonna get the most card draws, and the flooding the least. So that's what it's gonna be about. At least I have here some threats in here still, but this will be sadly only a 3-3, so one of their multiple Vanquish the Weaks will work here now. But I'm definitely, if I get to sideboard for game 3, which is not at least that likely because they are not dying here. They are not dying here, and they have 5 spells in hand. So that's very bad. I have no spells in hand, and if they can deal with the captain here, it only means that I'm starting to lose my... At least I have 2 of these unblockables still here. But yeah, it's gonna be... I need to draw my win cons. I guess I can draw the Skyclave Plunder in here. I wonder why I didn't sideboard into one viewer land. I should have. I didn't consider it. I mean, I didn't. That didn't cross my mind, but it definitely should have crossed my mind. Okay, they're gonna just have some upkeep removal. That's fine. Oh well, Glacial Grasp. So I lost. Well, I guess 1 land and 1 good spell. So let's not draw a land here. The good spell was on top. Well, that didn't really happen there. So let's offer the trade then. I mean, yeah, I should have really done the... You're gonna have a Subtle Strike? No. With so many removals, that would be completely unnecessary card. I play my lands because I can still draw the Skyclave Plunder, so I want to have access to as much mana as possible. So yeah, what I was saying. I should have sideboarded into fewer lands because these are so slow games that I definitely don't have any issues to draw my lands. More spells, and especially more card draw. They can 1-for-1 as much as they want if I have a lot of card draw to compensate for that. I do have here cards that are capable of finishing the game. Now they could have the Zulaport Duelist here. At least I have this thing right now. Let's see what they're gonna do. This will untap on the next turn. Oh, they do have an anti-cognition here. So not only removal but also counter spells. So they can't really have that many removal creatures in the deck. Now they cried 1 on top, so they're gonna have something decent here. And now this is gonna be the blue inscription, let me guess. Blue inscription. Yeah, I wish I understood. I mean, I would really hope to get the game 3 now, but it seems unlikely. I'm only at 13 here, so that is a problem. They have still 3 spells, and I suspect they have the blue inscription in there, and they're gonna draw a lot more cards there in that case. I mean, the deck the opponent is having is very good, but I had the tools to try to beat them in my sideboard by just adding more card draw in the deck and cutting the lands. Yeah, this is the price I pay for it now. Yeah, now I draw the lands here. That's gonna be bad. Alright, this is lost game now, because they can kill this, I'm sure. Because they have only played... Well, Leaving Tempest, come on. Where is my boost here? I could have had the boost spell, like the +2 plus party boost. I didn't even play the land, even though I just said I have the Skyclave Plunder. I'm just... I mean, what can I do when they draw 9 lands and 13 spells? And yeah, I can't even draw this because I already have it as a land. So yeah, that was a sideboarding mistake by me. For the game 2, I needed to make better adjustment for the sideboard. But yeah, the game 1 was so... I mean, it looked like a certain victory for me when I got the Angels, and then I had the unblockables in there, and they had no clock at that point whatsoever. But no, they did have... They basically had 4 answers for my... One for both Angels and 1 for both unblockables. And this is a keepable hand. Not gonna play this, of course, just as a 1-1 here. So... do I prefer just to have the wizard. Actually not, because I'd rather scry for 2, I think. Oh, that whiffed. Well, that's not bad. That's not good for them at all. Alright then, so let's try to attack, see what happens. Cascade Seer. Do I get the scry too? What does the opponent have? Well, they have something I can kill with the practice tactics. I suppose they're not gonna block here. I guess I could have left the white mana up, but no, actually it's better to block and have the duelist here. If they are gonna attack. I mean, if they're gonna attack, I can just take it actually. That might be a better idea because... well, not necessarily sure about it. Yeah, I can play this duelist before blocks. And then if they counter it, then I can just... yeah, not block in that case. And of course they still could have a subtle strike. If I make this a 2-4, they can make this a 3-3 and this a 3-5. Okay, yeah, so... that's something I have to pay attention to. Alright then, so... kinda would want to play my spells, at least this one. But I do wanna... so they completely have all the mana open. But I think the practice tactics should still be quite good. Okay, I'll do this. I mean, I didn't have to do this now that I block with the Seer as well, but... I wanted that if I lose the Seer for something, some kind of stuff, that I don't want to lose this unblockable guy. Okay, so they have a... okay, it was into the Royal and Rebirth. Let's deal some damage here, perhaps. Being Whale. Okay, let's try to kill this guy then. And then I can activate this once more. Well, this game I should win. Except that they... well, I mean, I do have still my unblockables in here, so... let's see, I have Rogue, Wizard, Rogue. So this would make it 2 mana activation, so I can't... sadly. But this 3-4 actually doesn't do anything now that they have this Captain in here. Right. But I do want to attack here, so... I'm gonna just have another unblockable guy in here. Next turn I have... I mean, I just said that I shouldn't be losing this game, but them stealing my 4-4 flyer is a very good start for the situation. But let's see if they can find double Vanquish the Weak for this thing. Well, they do have a Royal Domination, but that's not enough. I'm actually having here lethal damage unless they have. Actually, I don't. I can only deal here for 6. Alright. So... well, I mean... I still gotta do it, of course. Because if they steal one, I still have one lethal guy in here. I mean, okay, I guess they can have a Lol Mage's Domination and a removal. That would have been super annoying there. At least now I was able to win a game here that I had where I had a very strong position, but they started to stabilize, but gladly I was able to beat them. Alright, so negate is gonna be needed in here as well. How about, well, yeah, this is gonna be the plunder. I maybe should adjust my deck after the match if I remember. And the Seagate Stormcaller, I guess I should just permanently get rid of that one too. That's not a lot of 2-drops here, but at least I have the Iona here, Archpriest here, so I suppose I have some early game here. And this Disruption is of course a kind of a 2-drop. Kind of a 2-drop anyway, if it can counter something. I don't think I need any other kind of adjustments. The Relic Amulet isn't going to be that great. Well, there is one toughness guy, but yeah, let's have it like this. So I'm not gonna play the land. This MDFC, I'm not gonna play it here unless. Yeah, I'm pretty like, well, I mean, if I need to cast a binding, then I of course have to play it, but I would rather see if I can wait to have a 7 mana. Now, of course, obviously now that I drew at the planes, I only need 1 planes and one other. No, actually 2 other. No, 1 planes and one anything is gonna be fine. So these are just going to trade. Well, they are not going to trade. How about... Well, now that I can get a 3/3 captain, I'm not gonna... Yeah, I'm not going to lose my cleric now. I will try to make this a 3/3. I mean 4/4, of course. 3 counters, so 4/4 creature, of course. So maybe opponent taps out on some creature, and what do they mill from me? Card draw. Not nice. I would have liked to keep that one. So are they gonna have removal? I mean counter spell. I mean removal works as well. Doesn't matter which one it is. Let's see. After this I'm just gonna attack for 5, of course. Don't need to party. Yeah, I'm stupid. Of course it wasn't gonna be a 4/4 because this is also a warrior. But the point was anyway that I don't want to trade the healer because then this would have been a 2/2, even worse. So it seems like the Emery's Call could happen in this game. I only need 1 any land. Do they have a... Well, that's fine, yeah. I guess better than them having a duelist. Okay, well that doesn't do anything. I don't actually mind losing these. Well, actually, I guess I could have had the Disruption, but I mean, they were not very high impact cards, so it doesn't matter that much. So if they don't deal with the Emeria Captain here, well, it's gonna hold the ground in that case. But yeah, of course. At least I still have my Cleric, so I can replay it as a 3/3. So yeah, I'm not gonna block it now. I need it to as a 3/3. Wizard got away. Sure. This has Vigilance, so it's gonna attack regardless. And just a couple of more turns and I get these angels. They have a lot of that stuff. I wonder why they didn't play this one first. Alright, Colossus, definitely a good drop for this turn now because I have the next turn clear anyway. Yep, so let's just play this Colossus and attack with, I think... Yeah, I got the angels, so I don't mind if they trade with the flyers here. And of course, well, I had to play this pre-combat because they could have traded. Well, actually, they couldn't have traded with all of these. I guess if they have the Zulapur Duelist, then they could have traded with both. And then this would have cost 7 mana. Because of course they are not gonna block with the Skulker right now. But the good news is that this gives indestructible to my non-angel creatures. So that's important to note that this is an angel. This won't get indestructible. But this Colossus, well, would have gotten indestructible. Oh, they'd rather do that. Well, of course, because they have the 2-2. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. They have the 2-2 Death Toucher here. I lost my Allied Assault and life gain here. But thing is that both of these will get indestructible, so they just have to jump block this Colossus. Because this will deal a total of 9 here. And I will have my flyers here, so absolutely I'm going to... I mean, they can't deal 10 next turn, even if they have some kind of solutions to this. I mean, they could have, for example, the control magic. Doesn't cost anything. Well, it costs 3 blue mana, but I do have the Nahiri's Binding if they have that. But if they have like a control magic and then a bounce for the other token, well, that could end up bad. Well, they didn't have anything, so yay. Yeah, I'm still a bit salty about the match, the loss in the match one. I mean, not because it was an easy victory. I'm definitely opponent had a sick deck, had a very sick deck, but I'm disappointed about my own sideboarding for the game 2, because I did recognize in the game 3 that of course when you are playing like against 10 removal spells, the basic strategy is always then in that case to... Oh, by the way, I can still cancel this. I need to make changes to the deck. The basic strategy is going to be to sideboard into more card draw and cut at least 1 land from the deck. So this Stormcaller isn't actually useful. I maybe somehow thought that this is converted mana cost 4 or less or something like that. But yeah, it's not really useful. And one of these field research is gonna be a Skyclave Plunder, and I guess I'm going to play as a 2-drop. Maybe the Cleric of Chill Depths, I suppose. Yeah. That's better than a 2-1. 2-1 isn't just doing anything, and it doesn't really copy. It could copy like the practice tactics, but because this doesn't have flash, it's not very useful. Right, so this is the deck here. But yeah, let's at least try to win the match number 3 here to get the 2-1 result, to not lose that many gems. No MDFCs here. It's kind of awkward because I do have a 2-drop, and if I drew a 3rd land, I would have a good chance to draw even more. But if I don't draw a 3rd land, I don't have that many 2-drops, so I really need to draw into my lands. But I do have 19 total in this deck, so that means 17 out of 33, so that's basically over 50% chance to draw. So it's gonna be better than a 75% chance to draw in 2 draw steps, and I guess I can maybe like miss it once. Although missing a land drop and then playing this might mean that I have to discard. Do I? No, I don't have to, because I play 1 spell from my hand right now. But yeah, there's quite high likelihood that I would have been able to draw at least in the top 3 cards. Yeah, I mean, this was like a... because even if the odds were just 50%, the odds to draw 1 land in the next 3 drops would have been, well, 12.5, I mean 87.5%, so quite a lot. But now I just didn't do that, so I had a high likelihood to draw at least in 3 draw steps a land, but well. Too late to worry about that now. 3 colors, Rapid Bite gets rid of that. That's kind of fine, I don't care about that, but I do care about drawing a land. And I did. Hurts a bit, but... alright. Doesn't hurt anything. Man. Of course. This has another ability. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, I have the binding for this, and I have the flying blocker for this, so things are still okay, but that was awkward. So 1 spell per turn. If they have a land, that means I can't double block it with the Duelist and Adept here. I suppose I'm just gonna Nihilist binding it just in case. Alright. So next turn I might be able to play the Shepherd in here. Okay, so they can't play any other spell here now. I'm not able to play the Shepherd, but I can just play this guy then. Disruption is very unlikely to do anything because they're playing 1 spell a turn. They have 6 mana, 7 mana already, so I'll just play the tapped land here. Yeah, these mythic MDFs are the only one that are affected by it. Alright, they get the skewed swap. So I should concede now, right? Should concede now because they're gonna get this multiplied and I have this thing, yeah. Well, I don't concede quite yet, but I mean they're gonna soon have so many tokens that I'm not gonna do very well in here, but yeah, 1 spell a turn means I will play just my biggest spell. And if they don't have removal... Alright, well that is... yeah. A lot of skewed swarms in there. So what is there? It's like quite... yeah, it's green, white, and then they splash black for something. Alright, skewed swarm, skewed swarm. What I do against that? Relic amulet? It's not good enough. It only works if they have it like before the 6th land. I guess my... yeah, I'm just gonna try to win with the captains and stalkers. These are my main win cons here, and I just need to win before they get... before the skewed tokens get out of hand. Do I want to play like the practice tactics? I don't think it's that great. I don't think I want to sideboard away much of anything here. Yeah, I'll just play it like this. So I need to win now 2 games back to back. But yeah, I lost that game to the skewed swarm, so it was kinda... of course it never is nice to lose to a single rare, but that happens. It's not like I haven't won on the back of 1 single bomb rare. Well, this was a good draw. They played their 1-3 tapped. Maybe they have another 2-drop. Well, I don't mind trading with that thing. I suspect they are not gonna trade here. But it's possible if they are like really have a late game focused draw there. But I don't mind raising with this thing. I have the Nihilist binding. I can play this life gain effect here and it will also fly. Yeah, I'm not that afraid here. That is annoying, but drawing a card was very good. Yeah, I think I'm simply going to just offer the trade there because I'm gonna have the Colossus as a cheap spell anyway. Next turn I play the Shepherd and then I will still have 2 different party creature types to have this Seagate. Colossus costs 5 even if I draw this, if I don't draw the land here. So I'm just gonna, because I can't play the Nihilist binding, I have to do it like this now. Just let them trade there, and next turn Shepherd of the Heroes, it's gonna gain me 4 life as well. and then the Colossus. All the colors are here. I do need the planes at some point. Alright, this is not bad. So I can just attack because they are not gonna block here. And if they are, I really don't mind. It will cost the entire turn here, of course, but I mean, if they get rid of 50 dice, that's just great. And now this thing gladly doesn't fly on the defense unless they have the rolling regrowth, of course. But then they must not attack. They just play on land, and I hope they don't have now the rolling regrowth. But I guess I still have a 19. Oh man, that was sure. Maybe the opponents just have the perfect season now in this game. So I'm still not losing, but this starts to look bad here. Well, I get my... I can't even attack with this. So yeah, where's my Nahiri's binding? Oh, great. This is not good. I don't have time for this blunder here. It's just so sad. Alright, so I'm actually losing here because I can't beat with... Then both these guys just grow and they don't miss land drops, so I have to try to do this and hope they don't have a trick. If they have, I can just concede. I mean, it's just game over at that phase. Now I still have a chance because I can draw the planes for this fledgling, and hopefully they don't have anything too big. But of course, well, they are not too big here so far. I really need planes though. That happened, but sadly I don't even have a... But I can't make this one attack, not even once. This costs 4 mana to activate, so I can't even start try to raise here. It's bad. But yeah, anyway, it's important to draw the planes. Now I have some kind of chance here. Semblance of a chance here. Because this Colossus will block the Felidar, so they need another removal. And yeah, I have to take the one here. This is my win con. Skulker is going to have a death touch, so I can block the Skulker with my Stalker. And let's just play this thing now to block the Felidar. And then the Plunder will give me something good. So there is a chance if they don't have something too sick going on in here. I of course have to take this 1 damage all the time. Well, it's gonna be 2 damage, but I do have here 3 draws and also some scry action here. They don't attack with the Skulker here. Well, I'm gonna take 1 damage here now. I think that's something I can do. Right, okay, sure. This is gonna be a good one. I don't have mana to... It's gonna only be a 3/3 though. But still. Yeah, the problem here of course is that I have to take the damage from the... Yeah, this needs another cleric or life gain. So I hope they don't have any of that now coming up. I have to take the 2 here, I'm afraid. Too bad this thing that... I don't have any into the royal here, which is very sad of course. So I'm gonna take the 2 here, and then I need to draw blockers for the Blight Blades here. Are they not gonna attack with the Blight Blades? They definitely should. I mean, they can of course have something. Yeah, just attack with all the Death Touchers. That's the way to go here. Even if you don't have anything. I might even block that now. Because I should be drawing something from the Plunder that can actually, you know, block this guy. Although taking just 1 damage here might not be, because this is also a win con. That's something I need to keep in mind. It can make my clock faster. Okay, fine, I'll take 1 more 1 damage here. Hopefully they don't have anything too good. Well, it's not too good. So what mana I'm gonna use here? Well, I guess like this. I will get to scry. I'll look at the top Okay, I get to, yeah, put 3 of these. Okay, life gain, archpriest, flying until end of. So do I have the full party? Rogue, warrior, cleric, wizard. I do. So I'm gonna take this and the wizard, and I guess the life gain. I could find something with this, but I just rather have the life gain. So is this gonna be a sweet turn? Yes, it is, because I have the planes here. So at the beginning of combat on my turn. Well, this is very good. No, actually, no. I need this adept, of course. Anyway, now I have blockers for the death battery. So next turn I can actually... Next turn will be lethal unless they draw a flying blocker, because the Colossus will fly. This has vigilance. So they need... If they draw a land, they will die. Okay, good. That is sweet. Yeah, they get some life there, but it's not gonna be enough, because I can attack with this, and this will be unblockable as well, and they're almost dead to my Stalker and the Captain as well. Well, that doesn't really matter much. I just take the 2 in here, and then I'm going to win. There's actually something I need to pay attention to, and it is that they are gonna get to draw a card in here. So, but that's the only way to keep the flying here. So let's see. This costs 2 mana to activate. Oh, yeah, the land was good for them. They got the life, because I would have had 9 damage here otherwise. Isn't that correct? I have 4 activations. 6 plus 3 is 9. Well, I have to keep them there. I have to keep them their card now. Hopefully it's not anything too good. So let's first see about this thing, and I think I'm just gonna give the... Yeah, the Colossus. Really hope they didn't get anything too great here. So this at least, but how about... So do I have a... Can I survive with the attack if they have something to deal with these guys? So now if they kill this, for example... Well, if they kill just this, I should attack with the Seafloor Stalker. What could they have? Like, they could have a Deadly Alliance. So let's say they have Deadly Alliance and they kill the Colossus. If I attack with the Captain and the Stalker, 3 blockers in here means that I block 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2. That's exactly 4. Alright, but I have to practice tactics. Okay, good. So let's make it unblockable for now. Yeah, so this should be good even if they have a Deadly Alliance for the Seagate Colossus. They did not. Well. Yeah, because the reasoning there was that they will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attackers. I can block 3 of them. 3 that deal more than 1 damage. That leaves 4, and I am at 4. And then I can practice tactics away 1 of them. And I would be left at 1. And then hopefully win on the following turn. Alright, so they have a Journey to Oblivion. Any other enchantments? I suppose I don't have enchantment removal here though. I do not. Another practice tactics. Chilling Trap, Anti-Cognition, Negate. Is there something I should sideboard? They are splashing like for Expedition Skulker. I mean, splashing for a Blood Beckoning makes sense, but this is a pretty bold splash, I think. They usually don't get this on turn 2. Is there anything specific I need to deal with? I mean, this can be very problematic, and I have very few answers for it, but I mean, I guess I can have like a pressure point, practice tactics, and hope I have like a party of 3 or something. Celebrity Duelist. How good is that going to be? There's gonna be some. They have this Death Toucher. It's gonna be very good against all these Death Touchers, definitely. Cleric of Chill Depths. They don't have that aggressive of a deck. Okay, so the Cleric maybe goes away, and I will play another Practice Tactics. That seems like the best idea here. Alright. Final game of the recording. I guess there's no way to have this game end up in a draw. This is good. Sadly I have to play the Cleric as a land unless I didn't draw the white source immediately. So 3-1 Seafall Stalker. No, actually this is a mistake. It would have been a mistake. I play a Cleric Rogue Warrior. That's my curve here. And plus this 3-1 wouldn't be able to go through that guy anyway. Drawing the planes was huge. Now I hope they don't have removal. That's fine. Certainly fine. So I can have a 4-4 Flying Vigilance on turn 4 if they don't have anything here. Well, it's a nice combination with the Nectar Pot, but nothing I can do about it right now. But what I can do is play this big flyer and hope they don't have an answer for it. They can have the journey to Oblivion or what it is. Next turn it's gonna be Stalker and Sellsword. Oh, come on. Well, I have 2 of those still. They didn't play a land. I'm not sure if it's good or bad. Because that means they have 3 spells, but at least they didn't get the token here. Although I'm not sure how relevant those tokens will end up being. So this is gonna cost 3 to activate. No, I'm just gonna play my guys and then I can start at the attacks. It's gonna be just 2 to activate, so I can actually hit for 6 if I want to. Okay. They do need lands. Well, that is going to be good, but I think... Yeah, I'm not really sure about it. Do I want to go for the Saloon Division here? Because I could get the Practice Tactics in there. I could do it like mid-combat. But I'm missing 3 damage in that case. It's not an easy decision at all. They would drop to 16. This as a blocker doesn't do much in here. I guess I can draw the card draw too. Okay, fine. They are at so high life total that, and they have the life gain guy here, so maybe I just can't really raise quite yet. I need to find something better. Hopefully an Emeria Captain. Of course I can't find an Emeria Captain with this vision in here. So yeah, they're gonna start generating that kind of tokens in here, which will be relevant at some point. Not quite yet though. And I can draw the this spell, this mythic land. It's a sorcery, right? It's not a land. The backside is a land. Oh, well, that's gonna, I guess, gonna get Nahiris binded. Oh, they have 2 more spells in hand. This could end up badly. Yeah, they have life gain a bit too much. I mean, they can give a lifelink to this, so I have to Nahiris binding this guy in there. So now the question is, well, I guess I'm just gonna see what I draw. Well, I guess I didn't lose much here. I didn't have very good cards here. 3 lands and that disruption and 2 creatures that wouldn't be helping me to win, I don't think. Rogue Warrior Cleric. Yeah, I missed the wizard. Anyway, this has to be the pick, and do I want to just trade here? I guess this has not much else of a function here, although it does make my activations cheaper, so there is that. Yeah, okay, let's take once again 1 damage. I should be able to do that. Okay, that's like well, it's simply something I have to do, so I kick it and draw good stuff in here. No attacks. I have to take some damage, but I do have now the Nahiri's Binding and the Practice Tactics both. And some card draw. Sadly, I cannot get rid of this combination. This will... My deck doesn't have the removal for this. Of course, I'm blue-white in here. They're gonna have a Rabbit Bite here, right? They're gonna have a Rabbit Bite. But there's not that many great targets for it. So... do I have to risk... I would have liked to triple block. Okay, so they are having just some stuff in there. That's bad. Oh no, that was just an accidental press of a button. Alright, just attack with the flyer, please. So that makes me... at least feels like they don't have any trick here, because otherwise they would attack with this thing. Alright, so now I'm missing the wizard for the full party in here. Now we have sadly the 1 spell per turn policy in here. So I at least have the Practice Tactics available. So there is that. Emeria Captain will be a 4/4. And yeah, it's gonna be better than the 3/4, because I guess... well, I mean, I guess I can Nahiri's Binding. I need Nahiri's Binding this, or just use the Practice Tactics. I think it might be a safer to Nahiri's Binding it. But then I can't play my... yeah, I can't play my... okay, I'm gonna do it like this and play the Practice Tactics and hope it's gonna be good enough. And then I can attack with my 3/4 flyer, and I can hope to maybe draw the wizard at some point. Gain 6 life here. Not gonna use the activation in here just because I need to have the white mana up in here. They should suspect something because I didn't attack with the Stalker here. Alright. That I cannot. But that was the only spell they can play this turn, so I can kill the Shepherd here. So I can also make them use some mana for it. Why don't they use this? Man. Do they have something for my turn? So maybe I'll just play the Skyclave Plunder now, because there is not such a big hurry in here. I'd rather have a 5/5 Emeria Captain. Oh, now I have to counter for the Rabbit Bite, but maybe if they have another one I can at least counter that. But I feel like this is gonna be what I want to play now. 3 of these. Well, that's an interesting... Alright. Well, I mean, I guess it's going to just simply be the 3 spells and not the Cascade. I mean, this Scribe is very valuable too. I mean, I could get to my Mythic Land. I still feel like the Practice Tactics is something I can use here. Perhaps just to get rid of the Archon of Emeria. It might be a long game. I do like this though too. It's actually hard. I take this and I do want to have these unblockables. These are very good win conditions. And I guess this, and I don't get this cry thing. I mean, it could be valuable, but still. Nah. Alright, I'm gonna use the Practice Tactics for for the flyers, I'm not going to. I do actually want to be able to play several spells per turn. Yeah, I need to be careful because at some point they can start attacking with those 1/1s, but we are not there yet. I can also consider. I think the failure has to be Nihilist binded at some point. Yeah. Maybe they don't have anything. I could Sulabra Duelist this guy. 2/2/2. This is 6 damage. If I put this in there, they might want to kill. Well, I guess it's fine. This makes it, but they could have the kicker boost spell. Okay, let's do it just like this. Hopefully they don't have anything too strong in there, because I will play the duelist here. And of course, if they have a boost spell, I can. Well, I can't play the precise tactics because I can play only 1 spell per turn. So basically, I'm now make it so that one of my stalkers will actually survive here. So now, if they have another rapid bite, I lost my way to counter that. Well, I mean, I guess I didn't want them to have another one of those, so this was good. Although I did lose my cleric now. Well, they do have. Well, I do have the removal for the flyers, but yeah, I can only have now a 3/3. Didn't actually realize that very well. Sad. But I think it was still important to get rid of this, because now I can just use the Nahiri's binding on this shepherd. Yeah, let's just do it right away. And then I can just use the... I guess I can now attack with one of these. And they don't have that great of an attack here. And I will use the practice tactics to kill the Archon of Emeria. Just so I can start playing more than 1 spell a turn. So now I have used most of my answers. Well, this is sweet. Alright, I have mana, how many? 8. I can play there. These are warriors, so they don't help this. I guess it's time to... Well, I mean, I guess it's time to play 2/4/4 flyers. I mean, that's gonna be the move here. My guys have indestructible, but I can't... I guess I can attack with this 3/1. It's the only attack I can make here. So I have good chance to deal... Yeah, this one Nahiri's binding isn't gonna help. Good chance to deal a bunch of damage with my unblockable guys and the allied assault. I mean, I can have like a +6 damage coming up. So now, just attack with the... No, I have to actually count my... Well, whatever, I'll just play these things now to count my mana better. So now the activation will still cost 3 mana, so if I play this, I can't attack. Sure. This and this will attack. For 7. Okay, they can thin their deck now. And they can get their black splash. Wait a minute, they sideboarded the splash away. Okay. So let's hope they don't draw anything too good. Like the fledgling wouldn't be bad now. Colossus, alright. Okay. The Colossus is actually just gonna be blocked by this, so I don't even need to care about. But I will have this unblockable guy, and then the rest... Yeah, I guess I can attack with this and this other one. And then I can have here a pretty nice amount of damage. Unblockable, unblockable, fly, vigilance. I'm at 18, they don't have that much damage. So this is actually... Is this a 2-turn clock? Yes, it is. Alright, so that was tight. In the end, a satisfactory result, considering that I lost the first game in here, so I had to win 2 back-to-back, and I also lost the first match, so I had to win 2 matches back-to-back, and I succeeded in that, so that was fine. I think the deck was okay. I might want to have some more removal, like Into the Roil and a Bubble Snare, but it was a nice party deck featuring these Emeria Captains and these Seafloor Stalkers, which definitely are very good in a party deck. So, and this thing, first pick in the draft, not so surprisingly, turned out to be quite a important part in getting those wins. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next draft. Bye bye.